Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. Birds in general are incredible and owls are even more so. Don't switch off, this is All Top 5s and this is interesting, I promise. They're usually mysterious creatures of the night, but we're all familiar with them, right? Well, here are 5 unusual facts about owls that you may not know, and even if you do, they're worth hearing about anyway. Number 5. Eyeballs. One of the most obvious features of most owls is the enormous piercing eyes, especially as they have small skulls. As owls hunt small prey, and quite often at night, their eyes are often believed to be large to allow more light into the pupils so they can see better in the dark. That's not quite true though. In reality, it's a special mechanism in their neurons that detects tiny changes in spatial information based on light and dark. And this is made possible by having a particularly large retina, the bit at the back of the eye. Owls do have incredible vision though, reportedly able to see a small insect from over 10 meters away in near darkness. Additionally, the owl has nictitating membranes over its eyes, which is a translucent third eyelid that moves horizontally on the eyeball. It's there to protect the owl from injury, even if it does look a little bit creepy. Anyway, the really interesting thing about their eyeballs is that they're not spheres at all. Unlike our eyes, which are pretty rounded, the eyes of an owl are actually tubular in shape. They're stuck in place in the owl's skull, and as a result of this shape, it can't swivel its eyes in their sockets the way that we can, which brings me on to number 4. Number 4. Neck. Since the owl can't swivel its eyes in their sockets, it has to make up for this deficit in some other way, otherwise what's the point of having such excellent vision if you can't use it properly? To compensate, owls are able to twist their necks so far that their heads can turn around about 270 degrees. That's about 3/4 of the way round and nearly back to facing forwards again. This is a stunning ability that lets the owl look all around itself easily for predators or prey without having to move the rest of their body at all. Their necks have twice as many vertebrae in them as human necks do, which is what provides that amazing twist. What makes this ability especially interesting is that owls' circulatory systems have adapted to allow arteries to pool in through the vertebrae in the neck with ease and pool above the neck. This allows the owl to continue functioning without cutting off its blood supply, even with its neck fully twisted round. Number 3. Eating. Owls eat anything from insects to rodents to birds, even to other owls. They've got sharp talons and a powerful beak that help them kill their prey. However, unless the animal they've caught is particularly large, they don't use these weapons to cut up their meal. Instead, owls swallow the entire prey whole, down in one, no chewing, nothing. This can be grotesque and look very uncomfortable indeed. However, the owl has a good adaptation that allows them to digest the food they need and get rid of the bits that they don't need. As you can imagine, a mouse is full of fur, bones, claws, and teeth that no stomach should be able to process. So the owl, somehow, collates all of these indigestible bits inside its gizzard and regurgitates the whole lot in what's known as a pellet. It's pretty disgusting but very useful for the owl. I've actually found owl pellets while out for walks in the countryside, and they can be really interesting to dissect to see if you can work out what the owl ate the night before. Sterilized pellets are often used in schools for dissection for this very reason. Number 2. Ears. Now, ears aren't the first thing you might think about when picturing an owl. In fact, they've got completely smooth, feathered heads. On certain owls you'll see these, but those aren't ears, they're just feathery tufts. But if you look beneath all the feathers, the owl's skull is surprising. There are 2 ear holes on an owl's skull, and they're positioned asymmetrically. That is to say that they're not exactly like our ears, mirror images of each other. Instead, one is lower on the side of the head, and one is much higher up. As a result, owls are far better at determining exactly where a sound is coming from, such as a scurrying mouse. It does this by detecting the difference in time that the sound takes to hit the nearest ear, followed by the furthest ear, usually an interval of a few millionths of a second only. The owl then rotates its head and tilts it, facing towards the sound until it hits both ears at the same time. That's why you often see owls bobbing and tilting their heads. This incredible ability relies on that minute timing rather than our sound direction detection, which relies on differences in volume. Add to this the densely packed feather ruffs behind each ear opening, which aids the owl's ability to pick up even the tiniest sounds, and you've got an amazing predator on your hands. Number 1. Mythology. We have something of a fascination with owls. Perhaps it's how odd they look compared to other birds, or perhaps it's more their mysterious nighttime behaviours that enthrall us. Either way, throughout history, owls have been worshipped and feared in equal measure by different cultures. In ancient Greece, and actually much of the modern West, owls were long considered representative of wisdom and scholarship. Athena, goddess of wisdom, had an owl as her symbol. In Hinduism, the goddess Lakshmi rode an owl as her mount, or Vahana. Tribes in what is now North America and Canada used to believe that owls were symbols of protection from danger within their realms, and also used owls to represent their spiritual leaders of extremely high status. But it's not all reverence. Many other Native American cultures fear owls, believing them to be harbingers of death and even symbols of evil. The Hopi tribe from South America believed that they were linked to evil sorcery and dark magics. The Aztecs and the Maya themselves believed owls to represent death and destruction, linking them with their god of death and denouncing them as messengers from Xibalba, literally the place of fright. In Europe too, owls were often considered ill omens. Pliny the Elder, a famous Roman historian and author, wrote about how Rome itself was cleansed by a lustration, a ritual of sacrifice and purification, all because an owl happened to stray into their citadel. It's a love-hate relationship throughout time with owls then, it seems. But with such amazing features and incredible behaviour, this mysterious bird will definitely always fascinate me and many others. And that's it from all top 5s for this week. Remember, let's try and be nice in the comments when you're writing your interesting things. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like because it really helps me out. And you can hit the subscribe button for weekly videos from me. Peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.